that are rotating from the north side of the map, rotating from that fragment area that we mentioned before through that choke point where you could expect knock them that usually could rotate around the other side there.
Okay, we've got Onyx, one of the teams who did so well at the Split 1 playoffs. It's been a very disappointing start to their campaign here in London version 2. But like a lot of the other heavy hitters from their regions, once we get down into the lower bracket, things should open up for them. They're one of the teams who's not actually getting a much better POI. You know, teams like Vexed, who were struggling when it came to the group stage, they walk out of Siphon in this elimination bracket, right? But Onyx, they're still back at Tree.
And with this circle, they could get through the south side of Lava Siphon, but then if you try to get through that platform area, you know that so many teams have already been able to put that line of sight within their pressure point. And you can see Optic Gaming had wrapped around the other side of the Vault Cave, finding themselves in this fight. They wanted to go for the different rotation once they saw that circle wasn't continuously pulling towards that launch site area. Try to circle keep this squad with drop falling incredibly low, goes for the reset with the shield back. But it's about playing patiently here, having the high ground advantage, but look to your side, gets knocked himself. Yes, the Bangalore smokes were called in, but maybe a little too late because he was focused on trying to heal himself at the same time there. He could send out the smoke too, but Skittlecake, now the last one alive to try to stay alive on the high ground.
Look, Fire Beavers, they didn't get enough points to make it through to that winner's bracket, but they did still look kind of scary, and they're showing us exactly why now with this fight onto Furia.
Furia was the one engaging originally with Optic Gaming. Fire Beavers wanted to get involved as the third party. Saw it wasn't as clean as they liked because they still had the advantage on the other side, but still playing up the low ground that they don't want to see. Crazy Raccoon now inside of a fight up here in that northern building of launch site. They haven't moved anywhere. Crypto EFE trying to come down here to unleash amp barriers to allow Maney to continue on with some extra damage. Amazing nades being tossed out. He's got the thermite, tosses it forward. The missile swarm coming in from the balcony on the other side too. Crazy Raccoon taking different off angles is great, but you've left Raz by yourself. Nice cover fire coming in from Maney as he upgrades that Evo shield to purple, and Parka gets the knock. Now you can currently see it's Riddle Order that shares that POI that try to engage with them.
The fight's dragging on though. The Blackhand duo come in from the top. Vex lurking down the bottom as well. Looks like it's a little too hairy for them, so they do make their way back up towards the circle. We'll get vision of that later. It has switched back to Siphon. It's been a very, very hard ring to call.
You can see it with a lot of these teams still playing by the edge here too. Fits into a lot of the playstyles, but Optic Gaming was able to restabilize, by the way. Now we're getting this look at the fights that are currently happening on the north side of launch site, but it's important because the circle will be pulling more so towards the east side of Lava Siphon, which could be that opening hillside as we take a look at Vex Gaming.
Teams are looking a little scared, honestly. I mean, Furia, they reset after that. Optic can find Fire Beavers okay, and all of those teams down the bottom also went their separate ways.
Wow, what? Not only did Optic Gaming restabilize, but then they got the revenge over onto Furia. They get the knock onto his Watson. Now we see Noctem, who were looking at a distance while Fire Beavers were trying to engage earlier, now having the opportunity while playing passive-aggressive instead of their own buildings in Lava Siphon, also getting the knock themselves. May not be able to finish that, but it's still adding onto the pressure that Furia is dealing with when they're sandwiched between Noctem and Optic Gaming. So much action happening right now with 16 squads left, and Complexity have found their own space. Right underneath this building, trying to predict that the Lava Siphon circle will continuously be pulling up north in a similar circle that we actually saw Pulverex's team comp win them the game with the Newcastle and Watson earlier.
Yeah, I think who else was there? There was a southern Lava Siphon zone. I think it might have
Phase
been,
was there as well.
Yeah, Gambare, I think
Gambare,
was.
yes, Gambare was the one that was there.
Watson. Yeah. Look, this time's Complexity. They're underneath, start a fight. We've got Noctem on the outside. Furia have just been pinballed really between different teams, and they really look to be struggling to find their feet in this tournament as a whole, and this game is no exception.
And you blink and you might miss it. So many fights are happening on these different angles that Vex Gaming and Blackhand were able to also engage in the Crazy Raccoon and Riddle Order fight. So those squads out, rather Riddle Order still alive, managing to get away, but in case of Crazy Raccoon, they are out here as Noctem now also taking some shots.
I mean, you can see Noctem just free-firing on the back of Furia there, and they don't even look behind them. They're that scared. There's that many bullets coming from that many different angles at the moment that Furia are just in shambles. It's going to be a miracle if they get out of this one alive.
But the thing is that they've been in shambolic mode for so long against Optic Gaming in the same bridge, by the way. Crazy Raccoon, as we tune into them, they were on the other side of the map. Couldn't see them here with so many other teams put together. They were able to rotate out right before Vex Gaming came in.
Okay, Furia, there we go. They do go down eventually, just can't handle the pressure between all of those different teams. Optic, I think, at least took some of those kills with them. That spot that we just had a look at from Crazy Raccoon there is an absolute wonderful spot to be at the end of the game. Not only is that exactly where the ring's pulling, where that bridge was, but they have all of that amped cover to work with.
And with the counter rotate before Vex Gaming got involved, which is what I was worried about, they were engaged in that long fight with Riddle Order, were able to rotate ahead of time, and with their team composition, settling into that next final circle, works with the Rampart, Crypto, and the Valkyrie on the other side. Now you currently see Leave No Witness are leaving the lobby, and Noctem are going to be able to hang out inside of this building. On the high ground, it's still going to be Northception now, taking over Optic Gaming and the pressure that we saw earlier from Noctem when it was Furia that was involved.
Okay, Northception with the evac tower. You can see a bit of a change in comp up here for Northception as well. Not going for the aggro Newcastle. They have switched to a more, I guess, traditional meta-aggressive comp here with Horizon, Bang, and Seer.
Something that we've seen a lot. You saw the Black Hole get yeeted into oblivion to cover that doorway. They know that there is a squad right inside there, but there's two other squads that are neighboring that building. Look, Go Next and Knock Them.
There's just a tiny bit of this building right at the edge that will be in the zone. They're probably kicking themselves for not having the Newcastle right now. You would 100% set the castle wall up on that roof and be okay. So hopefully they're not in the wrong mindset about how safe they are up there.
Just a corner on the, just a crumb on that corner as Go Next with the fuse are going to be able to call in that ult just to get some more extra information from the other squads that may want to rotate outside of the edge of the circle. Fire Beavers engaging on this fight. Bang ult calling in here. Jade Rain gets that knock, the bolt popping off. Tapping is in a lot of trouble as Vex get taken out by the creeping barrage. You have to watch out with the other player on the high ground taking a different angle. It's going to be Fire Beavers on the other side.
Oh, Vex are going to be so annoyed at this as well. I mean, they're dropping Siphon. It's a perfect Siphon ring, but it was just so hard to read that they may not have set themselves up for success to start with.
They get taken out, 13 squads left, and now Fire Beavers have to deal with a third party. They can't reset as 9 Impulse gets taken out first. Taskmaster in a distance. Huge Arc Star coming in from Kings on the other side as Northception are looking to get involved in this fight. Fire Beavers trying to find Optic Gaming. So much action happening on the south side, but this also allows Black Hand as a duo to try to deal with this extra pressure to try to maybe go in for some poke damage.
Black Hand still a duo, by the way. Optic and Northception down the bottom are going to juke it out. Fire Beavers can't handle the pressure, and these South teams are really going at it. It feels like there's probably only going to be one left alive at the end of this, and after that, it's going to be North's turn. They're all safe in the building at the moment, in their rooms, in their respective places that they can hold, but this next circle will force Bedlam.
And you know who called it first? You mentioned before, Gino. It was Crazy Raccoon.
Yep.
Who lands on that south side that we're able to rotate, wait to see where that circle was pulling, get ahead. Look at all these death boxes at the feet of Northception here. We take a look at what they're going to do next. They were able to clean up so many squads playing on the edge of the circle. Black Market called in for MDY White as well inside of the safety of the the truck here, where sometimes the circle does pull on the outskirts.
So all of these teams coming in from the north now are going to have to start pushing their way down that bridge, under it, maybe on it or above it. They're going to have to fight for just a spot, but it's going to be really tough.
Maney with the Sheila, say hello to my little friend. Start a fight, aren't going to start anything. They're going back to the lobby. Black Hand are going to meet them. So is ATH, 7 squads left, and Northception are playing so well off this cliff.
Northception, now that they've cleared everyone out on the southern side, have a fantastic spot. You can see just they've got a bit of a head glitch. It's not the best one ever, it's not the sharpest, but they can play down that ramp here and peek above when they need to. Onic, who have been sitting in this middle building for quite some time. Shady with the sick armor swap here to keep this alive.
Frame 1 gets it done, and they also get looted at the same time. Complexity in shambles themselves, trying to get away as Northception want to get involved in this fight. Prowler in hand, Gold extended heavy mag for Satuki. Gonna be able to look on the other side to see who's trying to get away on this evac tower. You can't run from me. Nice 150 done.
No!
Complexity out of this lobby. 5 squads left.
Raz, what were you doing out there? They have such a nice little spot. Just a little bit of an overextension there from the APAC North player. I don't think they got the full kill though. Maybe they can get him back up there. There you go. It's a quick revive and CR aren't punished.
A little bit of a slowdown too. Looking at the open space of what this circle provides. Onyx hiding in the back. Northeption understanding they can play off the head glitch and the natural landscape here to get out of the LOS of the squads that are playing around the truck over on the east side, which is going to be Go Next and Riddle Order.
So Crazy Raccoon, they've got a Valkyrie. They can sit down the bottom for as long as they want and then take that Skyward dive out at the end. Onyx playing with the Bangalore, hopefully have enough smoke left in the canister to just leapfrog their way out now that they've won that middle bridge.
That or the creeping barrage there too would absolutely be amazing here. Seeing how the cat wall has already been called in, Onyx Esports are looking to make their next ban, their next rotation. Crazy Raccoon still playing right underneath them. How are they gonna get out? They're probably gonna have to crawl, but if they do, I mean, maybe the cat wall could give them some sort of insurance, but it's still gonna put them in the line of sight of Northeption. As you can see, the Black Hole getting called in this fight, taking different angles. Northeption's also trying to deal with Go Next at the same time. Crazy Raccoon in a lot of trouble, only leaving a Parka. Onyx gonna capitalize as much as they can from this, taking them out. Riddle Order next. It was only up to one tapping from that squad, and we have our final 3 squads left in the lobby. It's Northeption, Onyx, and Go Next left.
Tided as he yeets that black hole out, and see you later, Crazy Raccoon. Northeption now taking the gravity lift just to try and avoid some damage, but it feels like Onyx, while they still have a little bit of cover, are going to be doing well. Go Next have been playing this RV very well. You can't hide from the knuckle clusters. It's going to not let you sit in a corner. It will continue to do damage. And now, can Bambino come up with a clutch here and win?
Fusey Bambino playing around the knockdown. Don't flub it, and he does. Northeption take it. Game number 1, playing perfectly behind a knockdown, getting outplayed. That was a lot of pressure. He had less health to deal with that versus Bambino there, and he played that so patiently.